Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show is just about to begin. Hold your fucking horses. Let's do this shit.
We get busy.
Relax, baby,
yeah.
in this bitch.
Look, we get busy, We the ones who moving in the city with them glizzies, Niggas say they stopping shit, we stopping shit with Smitties, Niggas say he got the low, we'll spin it.
Aggressive gang.
Don't spin up on that block, that's that shit that got Lil Johnny drop. Heard he dissing on Lil Tiki, send them shots and watch his body fall. Know that Trayo know I bleed, that hit his ass with that exotic Glock. Try to run, get on his ass, I bet this 4-5 hit that nigga top.
You know how many people are gonna hit me up to do an interview about the shit? You know how many people are gonna hit me up and want me to do an interview about how you are gay?
So many people, huh? How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for pulling up this evening. How you doing, Frank?
I tell you what, this is what we're gonna do because I want to drop it anyway. If we don't get no donations tonight, I'm gonna tell everybody what happened. So you tell your people they better fucking pull up to my Cash App, or I'm gonna blow you up tonight.
Too, didn't they?
And that's what we doing. How about that?
Say help.
Well, we'll just make the topics a little bit more brighter.
How about shoot 100, now they Chevy need a new body. Tired of dissing, buddy, let's go work and need a new body. Talking about your brother dead ass, what you gonna do about it? Caught a body, put a stick in the box, they say I'm too rowdy.
We get busy,
If I don't get $50 in my Cash App tonight, I'm gonna blow you up and I'm gonna expose it. Because I want to expose it anyway, because I don't like you. Period. I want to expose it anyway. If I don't get $50 in my Cash App tonight for the Tonight Show tonight, I'm gonna expose you. Period. That's what we're gonna do.
We the ones who moving in the city with them glizzies, Niggas say they stopping shit, we stopping shit with Smitties, Niggas say he got the low, we'll spin it,
Glizzy with a drum attached, some switches make them stutter talk. Chopper got me limping, I ain't tripping, that's my thunder walk. Struggling with my brothers, we got treated like an underdog. If you fuck with the ops, better get a gun, I won't spare none of y'all. He was high and packs his kin, his family mad, that's his cousin fault. I was a hungry motherfucker, used to listen to my stomach talk. Had to get it how I live, my only choice was to hustle raw when drama came. I was on front line, I ain't run it off. Can't think of when a nigga shot at me and I ain't blast back. Paper and digital, I just bought a pound with Cash App. Told him let me see his heat, I upped it, told him back. Need a sponsor with Band-Aid, so many niggas got their ass packed.
Anytime I feel like anybody is in here that's your people, I'm gonna expose you.
Oh, really? Did no exposing.
When Roast Beef and her people come in here, I'm gonna let you know it's her people. And then you can go pull up on them. Because they're going to be the ones. Roast Beef and that channel that talks crazy is going to be the ones that's going to come in here and try to make it seem like you the one talking to me. It's going to be them. I even tell you where Roast Beef go. I don't like them.
We don't care.
I don't care what happens to them. Whatever happens to them is between them and God.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna change the topic, you know.
And
put it above their brain level. They can't win.
And I don't lie.
Easy to do.
They know I don't lie. So they know what type of time I'm on.
They know I don't lie. They all lie.
We get busy, We the ones who moving in the city with them glizzies, Niggas say they stopping shit, we stopping shit with Smitties, Niggas say he got the low, we'll spin it,
Rob me, my nigga. This what we doing. This I gotta see you all day. Fucking landlord. I just spoke to her.
for 5 minutes, and everything was all love, everything was all good. And she told me, she said, he hasn't paid rent for a year and a half. So I just spoke to the landlord for like 15 minutes, and we spoke about everything. She was bringing things up that I didn't know about. And she was also mentioning that how she's scared of him, and
How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I figured, since the fucking weirdo wants to stalk everything we do, like he does everybody else in life, we'll just raise the bar a little bit, and we'll speak about things that their dumbasses don't know anything about, because they don't care about anything else but this here. How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to talk culture war tonight. We're going to talk something with a little bit of brains behind it, right? Because I do believe that we are winning this battle. We're winning this battle. We just ran into issues with schools trying to, tell them what they can, tell you what they can and can't teach your children. We're starting to see a lot more people pulling their kids from schools. We're starting to see a lot more people choose different pathways into teaching their children. And then we got some people that just don't teach their children anything at all, but fuck shit, right? But it's not their fault. It's not the children's fault whatsoever. It's all behind the adult's mind, right? And when you have an adult like some of these guys, man, they're doomed from birth. They're doomed from birth. So we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this Target thing here, because they lose $9 billion in this. Bud Light as well. We've seen this. Essentially, Pride didn't even last a week, let alone a month, right? People start pulling their shit down. I think we're winning this culture war.
From Fox Business, Target loses $9 billion amid Pride merchandising controversy. Love it. Target stock is experiencing its worst 6-day stretch since the 6 days ending May 25th. And not only that, Bud Light's Anheuser-Busch's stock they've wiped out all of their gains from the year so far. They're now down for the year.
Fantastic.
This is the Bud Light effect. It was the catalyst. Bud Light was the easiest thing to boycott for anybody. Yep. And they did. Near 30% sales dropped. Mm-hmm. Now Target is scared, saying, we don't want to end up like Bud Light. The fear now is this social effect where the people who held on to their Anheuser-Busch stock because they were assured by the media, don't worry, these things will fizzle out. They've lost a lot of money. Mm-hmm. A lot. I think it's like 12 or 13%. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're hearing this, so you experienced that a month ago. You're like, I got my Anheuser-Busch stock at $65. I'm not worried about it. Now it's at, 50 something. I don't know where it's at. You're going, okay, I just lost a ton of money. I can't let this happen again. So people are probably going to start selling off more and more Anheuser-Busch stock because the price is going down. It's become a sell, not a hold, not a buy. Target then becomes the subject of controversy. If you just lost a ton of money on Anheuser-Busch stock and you're sitting there seeing the news, I'm assuming a lot of these people say, nope, I am selling right now. I don't need to hold on to Target. I could hold on to any other stock. I'll buy Apple. I'll buy Tesla. I'm moving my money. Boom, stock starts dropping. Then it creates a cascade effect where other people go, they call up their broker, or they call up their wealth management manager or whatever and say, why is my portfolio going down? And say, oh, well, Target just suffered a major drop off. Oh, we'll sell. Why are we in it? Why are we in Target right now? How many people are now it's not even an impact of the boycott. It's an impact of, if there is fear in the public that a stock will drop due to boycott, that will be a self-fulfilling prophecy, the Bud Light effect. Yep. If you go woke, your stock will drop. People are going to start selling off. And if you don't, you will be the one holding the empty bag. And that's the...
First off, let me say this. Don't you like how they have hijacked the word woke? The word woke used to mean what it does now, but it was for the word woke to be used as in wake up, right? Not like it's being used now. You see, they hijack that word and totally switch it. That's what they do. We know that.
Sentiment where people go, Not going to be me with the hot potato. There's a billion other stocks to buy. Nobody cares about Target stock.
And
So
hey, I've been wanting to kind of change up the platform anyway. What better way now? What better way than to come on here and speak a little bit brighter than what these idiots know what to do with, right?
while it's not so easy to boycott
Easy
a
work.
big box store like Target if it's the only one in your neighborhood, it's really easy to buy a different stock to put your money in.
Very easy.
Very easy.
I
Very
mean,
easy, very smart.
That's what I
Oh
think
my
we're seeing.
God. There was a black man on that panel. Can you believe that, Willie? I know you were getting ready to say that white news, bringing the white news, huh? Wasn't you?
That's what I think. What we may be seeing that now.
And Target's 100%
This is how
reinforcing
far
what
the
you're
brains
saying.
go.
They are just as panicked. They're quietly moving things off their website. We're seeing these reports of some stores being told to relocate their merchandise. They had that collaboration with, I think it's called Abperlin. It's the UK. He says he's not a Satanist, by the way, but it's this guy named
Well,
Eric
I
Carnell.
saw the shirt.
Yeah, he says he's not. He just makes some fun Satanist merchandise. But the gay trans-identifying designer,
just
who in
symbolic
turn,
merch, yeah.
so I wrote this story about Target a couple days ago. I was checking out some of this person's merchandising, and I noticed that Eric Carnell's stuff today has been moved off the Target website. This person has also closed his Etsy and his storefront,
All right.
and has pulled posts from social media that were like basically anti-cis. They had like lighters that said "burn the system down," CIS.
Super cool.
A homophobic headdress, and it's a guillotine. And in
the
the
mods out there, no tolerance for any BS. They come in here with any BS, just block them. Just put the fucking block down, man.
if you can find this stuff on Twitter, so people grab the screenshots. All of these comments, they're basically like, we need to destroy this system. It's not enough to just ask to be accepted. We have to dismantle what's there. Very radical kind of semi calls for violence, and it's a really interesting time where Target panicked. And so this person panicked, and you can see the effect. Now
he's destroying Target, right? Not the whole system.
I don't know. I mean, in some ways,
he's a
saying,
catalyst.
Well, and then Reuters ran this article that was like, this UK designer that collaborated with Target is seeing a rise in sales, and that's why he closed his website.
What?
I don't think that's true. I just want to put that out on air right now.
Did you hear this? Listen to what they do. It's the same thing this dipshit tries to do.
In some ways, he's
a catalyst.
Well, and then Reuters ran this article that was like, this UK designer that collaborated with Target is seeing a rise in sales, and that's why he closed his website.
What?
I don't think that's true. I just want to put that out on air.
Because, hey, he was seeing a rise in views. Yeah. Okay.
I think he is scrubbing his stuff to make sure anything that is deemed controversial or radical is off.
For real,
now,
though, I think this is a long time coming. I respect the people of this community. As y'all can see, I do. I think it's a long time coming that we do start to switch the chatter around here. You know, apparently the chatter was getting a little bit too dulled down because we started bringing out the people that didn't have very much brains. You see, when you stay above a certain brain platform, they can't fuck with you. They don't even know how to attempt to fuck with you. They just go, oh, he didn't do that. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. He didn't do this.
Might be able to capitalize on.
And I'm sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy for us fighting back in America. I'm not sorry to say it. Let me get that right. I'm proud that we're fighting back in America over shit like this. I'm proud of it. Because you got to think, man, these people are trying to tell you what to do with your children, how to vote, who not to vote for, what to vote for. Your children can change their gender at any time, and you shouldn't be able to do anything about it. You, as a parent, shouldn't be able to do nothing about it if they make this choice at 9, right? What doctor or doctors would perform a surgery on a 9-year-old boy to make him a girl because he thought he was a girl at 9? I'll wait. Because, see, for one thing for certain, I know I got parents out here. I know I got parents that love their children. Should doctors be able to move forward with a procedure on a 9-year-old boy because he says he don't feel like he's a boy? at 9. Certainly not, right? Certainly not.
Sympathetic leftist dollars.
Or stop trying to groom our children.
No, that's too hard. They can't do that.
They don't know how.
I just feel like
or just don't do that.
They got rid of
culture war elements of this are.
Listen here. They just recently got rid of a gamer, right? Call of Duty has done this for speaking up and saying in a tweet, they should leave our children alone. Then that's all he said. And Call of Duty says we've taken this man's whatever it is I don't know what it is they wear in these games. Maybe somebody can inform me a little bit better. My son knows it all, man. I can't remember what it's called, like when you wear the outfit or whatever. Took his outfit out the game, right? Took that shit out. All because he said you should have left our kids alone.
Are less important than the monetary elements of this.
I agree.
There's going to be, I'm imagining it. There's a young wealth manager guy. He's managing some portfolios for some people. They get on the phone and he goes, "Look, I'm going to recommend against."
He said portfolio. Yeah, you might not be ready to make a video about this, huh?
Target stock. There's some controversy going on. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's probably risky. Let's move you over to something safer. Maybe we'll put you over here or somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I don't just start shorting these stocks as soon as these stories break.
Yeah,
that is not financial advice because we're not allowed to give that on this show.
I think
we're
part
very
of it
careful about not giving that advice.
In years past, this type of panic hasn't been that effective, right? Like we saw a slow burn after the cutie stuff on Netflix, people being like, "I'm leaving Netflix," and they did see some trouble. It wasn't as dramatic as the Bud Light issue, but right now, this has really hit a nerve. And to follow so quickly after that, you can see people feeling more motivated. They saw their decision to boycott having a financial impact. Maybe they can do it again. They can really feel like they're making a difference.
So I have a 4-year-old daughter, I have a 2-year-old daughter, and I have a 4-month-old little boy. And my wife was religiously shopping at Target. And if you're telling me that we're selling bathing suits that allow you to tuckable bathing suits to children,
they weren't for kids.
Listen to this man clear it up too.
No, the children's ones say thoughtfully made for any type of body.
Exactly. So it was like a double entendre in that case, right?
They're selling outfits that tuck your penis for any type of body. You know, not for kids, but for any type of body.
So they were kind of doing both, but also I don't even want my children walking past that stuff.
Amen.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just number one.
Yeah.
So you were talking about ice cream earlier.
Past the fucking tuck. I've never even seen a tuck outfit. What the fuck does one of these things look like? Let's see. I gotta find out, yo. Holy moly. Willie, I think we found your underwear, sir. God damn. Shit. So here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Tucking underwear on sale at Target. You can get your local Flame Boy underwear. You can get the thong in Willie fashion. The tucking goth panties for cross-dressers, transgender individuals. Okay, I've seen it all. There you have it. There's Target and Amazon I seen.
And my kids love ice cream. And if I left it up to them, my little daughter would eat ice cream for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So why in God's name would I allow my child to select her gender at 4, 5, 6, 7 years old before she's even an adult? I don't like the idea of even walking our children in front of this. Am I anti-trans? No. When you're an adult, you can do whatever you want in this country.
As long as you're not hurting other people.
As long as you're not hurting anybody else. In fact, it's my job as a United States Congressman to keep the federal government actually out of your life. That's actually what I'm trying to do more than anything else. But for children, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think real quick, I think what we may be seeing with Target is that it's not actually a boycott from conservatives. I think this reaction was so rapid that regular people walked in and had a very negative reaction. Like, why is this in front of my kids? And these are not political people.
But so this is a 75-25 issue in this country. So when it's a 75-25 issue, that means this is not a partisan issue.
Yeah.
This is literally people being like, I might be liberal, but this is insane.
Yeah. Well, the first time I heard about this was on an Instagram reel.
It's one of them things. Look, if you allow your children to do something to their gender at the tender age of 7, here's your sign. Here's your sign. If you have a child that you say sets you up at the tender age of 14, what else you want me to tell you? What else? What else you want me to tell you? We have a serious problem with mental health. And all the fucking TV has done is bring it out more and more and more and more and more.
Of, you know, a leftist, you know, influencer saying basically like, why are they pandering to us with this weird pride stuff? They're making fun of the fact that there's like a queer all year calendar. Like, nobody wants that. Why did Target do this? They only hurt themselves.
ESG, baby. No, they're trying to virtue signal. That's it. They want to be
true, but the people that are virtue signaling don't like it.
They don't want it.
Well,
and
I mean,
and that's why
they have a shirt that says "Live, Laugh, Lesbian." I don't know
what does that
happening.
even mean.
I don't know.
Well, I don't
this
understand.
Is what Target was like, we're gonna win.
It's
we're gonna
provocative.
Win.
Yeah, I guess it's provocative. Like,
no, it's capitalism.
Oh my gosh.
Target
Classic.
is just they're falling in line with the ESG stuff. If you want funding and financing, ESG is the way to go. And then they're thinking this is what people like. The reason these
and Frost, you're doing a smart thing here. Probably getting off the internet and resetting your life would probably be the best thing for you, my friend. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm sure you probably went through total hell with Weirdo over there. Oh, I'm almost positive of it. So I think that's a pretty good
companies do it is because they think if this is what's popular socially, this is what's in Hollywood. Now that there is a negative impact and people saw Bud Light, the Bud Light thing is a major shift in the culture war.
Yeah.
Because now these companies are going, no, that's controversial and you'll lose money. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it used to be the case that
that's what it should be. Just drink beer.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be the case that getting political was controversial, and now it's been the case that getting political isn't controversial as long as it's a left-wing opinion. But the left has gone so far that they're getting back to the point where leftism is once again beginning to be seen as controversial.
Thank goodness. TV emoji, man. What are y'all doing?
This is good news. This is a very optimistic moment for everybody, I think. I think we're going to start seeing more of these stock drop-offs. We saw with Netflix something similar, maybe a precursor to this, when they lost something like 2 million. How many subscribers did they lose? Millions of subscribers, something like that. And we don't know exactly why, but a lot of people think it may be because of the cuties thing, because of Big Mouth and these other shows that they're like, we don't want to pay for this. I think Disney is now experiencing a major
bring that up.
user drop off. And I think Get Woke, Go Broke is starting to become more and more pronounced.
Starting to catch.
But I think it's because the left has just gone too far.
Exactly. I think you're right. It's not a conservative issue, or it's not political. Because when you lose that many subscribers, they all are conservatives that are subscribed. It's actually people that are parents that are looking at something and they think to themselves, I can't explain to you what perverted is, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And any parent that cares about their kids, they're going to protect their kids from that.
Exactly.
The
parents are going to, well, like technically that doesn't have to be inherently sexual. So we can try to separate it out. Yeah. They're going to I don't want this near my kid.
I think it's much, I think it's much simpler than that.
Yeah.
I think the parent turns on Netflix and is clicking through and goes, I don't think we should have this on the TV, honey, because if we don't want the kids watching it. Okay, well, I'll just cancel. I bet they don't even think that much about it. For the average person, life is much simpler than those of us who are entrenched in culture war.
For sure.
They walk into Target and they go, "Oh my God, let's go somewhere else."
I don't want this.
Don't even say
I think exactly what you're talking about. They look at it and on some level register. I don't want to have this conversation with my kids. It's not even at the forefront of the brain. It's just like a repulse and now let's just separate from it. They don't want to be a part of it.
I'm here right now.
We're glad you're here too, man.
This is so good to hear because I'm constantly surrounded by I think highly informed people. We always get into these these pragmatic conversations and we go down these rabbit holes. And I think sometimes we can take a step back and here. I think you're right. I think it is
much simpler.
People.
Yeah. Well, because look. When I heard about Target losing all this money, I'm like, there's no way conservatives organized a boycott this effective this quickly.
Conservatives can't do anything.
No, that's impossible.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Oxymoronic. There's just no way.
When they said that there were confrontations, I was like, if there were confrontations, it was not because Matt Walsh got on his show and said, we're going to boycott Bud Light.
Wow.
It's because a regular person with his 4-year-old daughter walked in and went, oh my God, Daddy, what's a lesbian? What? Where did you see that?
It said live, laugh, lesbian. He's like, that's not even grammatical. It's banned in this house.
Don't laugh.
Maybe a little bit older than 4. I don't know what year a lot of these kids are learning to read, but they probably, I don't know if they can read the word lesbian or even notice it.
Yeah.
But the parents probably see these things right when they walk in and say, I don't want my kid. I'm not going to explain to my 4-year-old what these things are. Look,
such a good point.
We don't have, these are sexual.
Yeah. If you don't have the higher brain level that you can keep up with this chat in here or this channel, you might want to go away. I'm just speaking to the people that don't have the higher brain waves, that are able to functionally think on a higher level all the time. Okay? That's who I'm talking to.
Subjects.
Yes.
The left denies, but they literally are. LGBT is a reference. Well, LGB is a reference to who you enjoy engaging in adult activities with.
Yeah.
And then they added T to it, which is transgender, which doesn't necessarily relate to the others. That's why there's been a controversy there. But if you're putting something up right in the front display being like, celebrate who you have sex with, you are now having to explain to children what this means and why. Mm-hmm. And you're like, my kids aren't ready for the birds and the bees talk, let alone LGBT birds and the bees talk. You walk into Target normally, what do you see? You see the Easter Bunny. You see Reese's peanut butter cups. You see sweaters.
Santa Claus.
Christmas
stuff. Yeah.
The way it's going there.
Not anymore.
Dude, the way it's going, they'll be like trying to tell them about sodomy.
And look, I'm going to say this up front too. I don't think it's all of the gay, transgender, lesbian. I don't think it's all of these people, right? But I do think that the ones that are speaking for these people right now are the ones that shouldn't be. You feel me? Like they should not be the ones that are talking right now and making these arguments like they do, dude. It's unreal, man. Like y'all need to take back y'all movement.
And then when you want to talk about the birds and the bees, they're like, they're too young for that. Like they can't have this conversation.
There was in these schools when Ron DeSantis started banning these pornographic books.
Oh, yeah.
Perverted.
They're kink books explaining. These things are not sexual.
It's fetish porn.
Right. It's fetish porn. Nikki Fried called it butt plug porn.
How has Shopify enabled your business to scale? Shopify has enabled my business to scale in so many ways, from getting product to customers in terms of integrating seamlessly with our warehouse to integrating seamlessly with the various platforms that we use to run ads. It also has allowed us to ship overseas. And there are some big markets that we've been able to move into because of
mocking Ron DeSantis, not realizing she was proving his point.
Exactly.
Yes. When I showed this to a lefty friend of mine, he says, it's sex ed. I said, no, it's not. This is kink education for children. That's ridiculous. It shouldn't exist.
It's like, if you think that is sex ed, I don't even want to know what you think sex is.
Yeah, right.
That? Okay.
Well, when you take a light bulb and then you heat it up.
Yeah,
like the idea.
Like, this is not how human beings function. This is not how man's body was built to function.
So now we understand why homeschooling's on the rise.
You get it.
Look, earmuffs for your kids, but I just got to say this. When we make fun of people who go to the hospital with foreign objects lodged in their rectums, it's because you can't do that. Yeah. But people develop paraphilias and fetishes where they do things to their bodies that are damaging.
Yes.
We don't want to make people develop behaviors that are harmful to them, and we want to protect children from these things. Why would a school teach a child about putting foreign objects into their anus? Is beyond me, but I'm glad Ron DeSantis said F that and got rid of it.
Ooh, but it's not beyond you. You know why they're doing it? We know why they're doing it.
Because they want kids?
They're groomers.
They're groomers.
They're groomers. They're groomers. That's it.
Because I'll say, Target already came out on the Pride issue a long time ago. They sell like Mr. and Mr. Wedding cards. Like they're fine. It's this year's specific push for the transgender, gender fluid issue that is, I think, really enraging people, or maybe bringing attention to an aspect of all of this that people are firmly against, right?
Well, and this is something conservatives have to remember when we message this, okay? The conversation is not over, why do kids need to see this? We know they don't. The question is, why do you need kids to see this? Why do you need to show this disgusting fetish porn to children? What's wrong with you? The conversation has to be about the person who's trying to show this stuff to kids.
Democrat Nikki Fried in Florida called the material that got banned butt plug porn.
Exactly.
Yes. Because she was making fun of Ron DeSantis, and it was like, thank you for proving his point.
That's the whole point.
Like,
yep.
That shouldn't be for children.
It's not for kids.
He was saying this is school, and she's like, can you believe he shared this on Twitter in front of adults? It's like, it's being shown to children in schools, you lunatic.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.
Yep, because we can do that. I mean, it's like this, y'all. When do we realize that there's a problem? When do we realize there's a problem with our schools, with our stores, obviously, right? Damn, that's good. Damn. It's fucking flame. Not even gonna lie. I made that. That was fire. Then, of course, Target starts to panic. Target panics. Look, Joe, did we not hear Jack Frost say he was a conservative? I do believe Jack said he was a conservative.
This is a white pill moment for everybody. Yep. This is hope and optimism. Target makes emergency.
Do I think Jack Frost's channel was taken down? I mean, struck? No. I don't. I think I'll fall over. It's huge. But like, why doesn't he ever? Why can't he ever bring any brains to his platform? I think that's where he tries to, go and watch people like Tim Pool, because we found out he was made aware of Tim Pool through Kanye West. That's little. He was made aware of Tim Pool through Kanye West, right? The time Kanye walked out on his platform, he started watching Tim Pool ever since. I tried to tell Jack about Tim Pool before that. But like when you start making conversations like these, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's like the stupid people run away, don't they? It's like the stupid people take off. I don't want nothing to do with that. Hence why we have the chat we do here. I'm so glad that I'm out of the stage where my kids are in school like that. You know what I mean? Because those are hard decisions to make, are they not? Like, dog, you're in Florida, right? Are these kind of things going on in your townships where they're pushing some kind of an agenda? Because I'm pretty sure a dog wouldn't roll with that shit either. It's disheartening, man. It's disheartening. And then you got men on YouTube that they don't do nothing for the kids. No. What they come on here and display to their children is definitely not manly like either. None of that is a very good. It's not a very good look. So I'm gonna graciously bow out of looking like that. So whatever you may think, wherever you may do. I don't care, but I'm gonna graciously bow out of that because you motherfucker look crazy. Simple as that. They don't want to talk when it comes to smarts or what they know. Or if they're street people, they don't even know that either, right?
Calls. After backlash to, quote, tuck-friendly bathing suits and other Pride products, the company is terrified of a Bud Light situation, a Target insider told Fox News.
Okay. I remember you saying that, I believe. I think you answered that question before because I think I remember that response. Yeah. He said, my child hasn't told me anything like that. Good for that. You know what I mean? That's good to hear, man. That's good to fucking hear. I'm sure you make your children aware, though. You know, if you hear some shit like this, fucking. I wouldn't make it aware to my child until you knew, you know what I mean, they were at that age, basically. And as a child, as a parent, you guys, everybody knows. I always made it very aware to my daughters, you know, if anybody ever approaches you and you feel weird, you totally just go. You run and you make a lot of fucking noise. And you get to where the safest place you know. Because I'm always in fear of my baby girl getting grabbed or something, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's a fear that men will never have, right? But a woman can actually walk through life fearing about these types of people that would stalk you, that would grab you up, that would fucking hold them hostage. It's just true, man. Men don't have to worry about that. I said that with that R word too. Men don't have to worry about, you know, the R word. Because most of the time a man's going to fight back enough where it's just not worth it. So it's different. I couldn't imagine walking through that, being a woman and having to worry about a man doing something crazy to me. That's a very different feeling. And I mean, just look around. Those are the things.
The company's LGBTQ themed items were released this month and include tuck-friendly bathing suits, chest binders, and packing underwear, along with gender fluid mugs and other things. And I'm pretty sure this was like for children, is what the big issue was. Consumers called for a boycott of Target over the products, taking issue with the swimwear, as well as Pride-themed children's clothing, including onesies, t-shirts, socks, and swim skirts, with a tag reading thoughtfully fit on multiple body types and gender expressions. Target also sells a collection of children's books focused on LGBTQ issues. Target is evil. If a company targets kids, that company shouldn't exist. Bud Light them, tweeted conservative media personality Liz Wheeler. Matt Walsh, of course, was saying this is worse than anything Bud Light has done. Of course. Yeah. And so the reporting apparently is that we have this from the Post Millennial. Target to move Pride merch to the back of stores to avoid Bud Light situation. Quote, we were given 36 hours told to take all of our Pride stuff, the entire section, and move it into a section that's a third of the size. That's amazing. Bud Light is seeing another major drop in sales. They're nearly 30% down year over year.
You love to see it.
It's getting worse and worse for them.
Target's the store that's having these tuck-friendly bathing suits.
Conservatives simply said, we have no brand loyalty to Bud Light. This is the scariest thing in the world for the biggest brands. There's no brand loyalty to Target. Nobody's walking around wearing Target shirts being like, yeah, go Target. Bud Light at least had some brand recognition with sports, and that didn't do anything for them. So when it comes to your choice between Target and Walmart, if people are going to be like, Target's bad, we won't go there, it's not a big deal to shop somewhere else.
I really hope that conservatives stick to this, because a few years ago, we saw a similar attempt to boycott Target when they were saying we're going to allow men to use the women's room and abdicate our responsibility to protect female patrons in our stores. Conservatives said, I'm never shopping at Target again. And then many of them started shopping at Target again. So I hope that this is truly a bridge.
Man, when you no. That's a no. When you outright are letting men use the women's restroom, that's a big no, y'all. How you doing, 1, 2?
too far in that people are going to stick to it this time. I would also say that if this isn't stuck to, it's going to set a very bad precedent, right? Because people are seeing this as the sort of sequel to the Bud Light boycott. And if it falls apart here, that's going to say a lot about the power of conservatives as protesters or as boycotters of products.
Honestly, I don't think you really need to identify as conservative to have issues with child sex changes.
Agreed.
Like, I'm not that conservative really in life, but little kids that are getting their parents are like cutting their body parts off and stuff like that. Just as a human, I kind of wonder what in the hell's going on. Tim's cracking a beer.
What was that, Ian? I couldn't hear what you were saying as I was pulling out this wonderful Stud Light lager. If anybody would like a can,
Stud Light, give me a taste.
Stud Light, feel free to grab a can. This is no joke. I don't know if you can see it. It's Stud Light, and there's a cowboy on it with a horse, and it's from Harvest Gap Brewery in Hillsboro, Virginia.
That's hilarious.
So we were just driving past this brewery, and we walked in, and I noticed they had something called Stud Light.
Oh yeah, we're gonna start.
That's really good.
Topics that are
I'm not a big beer drinker, but I had no choice but to buy a beer called Stud Light with a manly cowboy on it, because I have to wonder. I'm not saying the brewery did anything to. What, you want to just grab one?
Here you go.
Yeah, plus we got a bunch down there. Search.
Whatever you don't take it.
I'm not saying that. I don't know if this brewery made this intentionally because of what was happening.
It's hilarious.
But to see that they've got Stud Light and there's a cowboy on it, I was like, I kind of feel like they're having fun.
Super funny,
and it's a light lager, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought it'd be funny if we just cracked some.
If you look at Bud Light's market, though, I mean, what Ian was talking about, just to be offended by targeting kids for this is a whole different cross section than just conservatives. But if you look at who shops at Target, it's not as much like who buys your stuff at Target. I mean, a little bit of everybody. Who drinks Bud Light? I mean.
Yeah,
the people that used to drink Bud Light aren't going to go along with this whole trans movement kind of Dylan Mulvaney kind of thing, and they're also not going to buy it was an April Fool's joke. And so Bud Light made a bad situation worse by not owning it. And now, okay, their ESG score took a tally. Instead of owning that, they're still trying but we can do everything. And it's like, no, man, this is a T intersection. You're going to have to pick. You can either keep the people that used to drink Bud Light, or you can go woke.
Truth, none of that.
I think the thing with Bud Light and Target is that Target it is smart of them to panic in the way they're panicking.
Yeah.
And they should probably just remove these products because the left will try and lie. But look, I don't care what an adult wants to do. Seamus and I will have a disagreement on this. Like, I don't care about someone who's LGBTQ or whatever. Privacy of your own home. These are all the old traditional arguments from liberals. You live your life. You be happy. We mind our own business. Keep the kids out of it.
That's all right.
They're now trying to argue that the LGBTQ stuff is not inherently sexual.
Yep.
It's quite literally what it is. LGBT
men with
quite literally are references to sexual identities and sexualities.
They got no values.
There's no reason for you to bring that to children. This is what Target is doing. They should not be doing that. Here's what I think. Bud Light loses about 25% of its market with this whole stunt, and they're not going to get it back. They may still see growth because new people enter the market and population is, well, if the population expands. If it doesn't, then they're going to lose more drinkers.
Expand.
But I don't think it'll go to zero. Right? They've seen about a 30% drop off so far. It's like 28% or something like that. These are the people who pay attention, who don't want to drink Bud Light, don't want to be seen drinking Bud Light. There's a lot of people who don't care. They don't watch the news. They're not on Twitter. They're not on the internet. They just went to the liquor store to get some beer, and they said Bud Light's half off, and they went, "Wow, me and my buddies want to get drunk. We'll take it half off." Some people might even know and just be like, "Don't know, don't care, cheap beer." With Target, I think you'll see something similar. A lot of people who know will just say, "I will not shop there anymore." That's why Target is freaking out. Not because they're going to go out of business, but because they could lose 30% of their customers in a month. And that's bad news.
I agree with basically everything you're saying. There's just one thing I'd probably phrase differently. And I think you'd actually agree with me on this when you said there's no reason for them to be introducing this sexual stuff to children. We know there's a reason, and we know what the reason is. It's because they want to groom these kids.
Yeah. Target?
I think the people at Target who are trying to normalize this, there's an entire effort within our systems to push sexually perverse behaviors onto children.
They're owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street.
Did you catch that? And then you catch what this man says.
These companies keep popping up.
Normalize this, there's an entire effort within our systems to push sexually perverse behaviors onto children.
They're owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street. These companies keep popping up.
Do you know who that
anything,
is?
any of these publicly traded things? I mean, those three corporations, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, own like 24% of Target.
They are pushing an agenda. I completely agree with you, Seamus, and it is bad. Look, my kids are at a point where I never thought, gee, we need to cover boys are different than girls and all that stuff. It's pretty intuitive, but we're at an age where they're very overtly introducing this to kids, and people say, well, gender's a spectrum and it's totally different than sex. No, you're given cross-sex hormones, you're using cross-sex pronouns, and the surgeries that you want to do, including to minors, are on the sexually distinctive physical attributes of your anatomy. You cannot change. You're either an XY person, male, or an XX person. You can't change your bone structure, everything else. You can't change those attributes,
with rare exception.
With like it's out there. There are some. There's some variants, but that's not what we're having this debate about.
Yeah. Right.
Those sections at Target, and the whole transgenderism movement that's going on in the country, spreading all over the place, isn't the traditional cross. Issue with hormones that come, there are DNA chromosome issues that you're talking about. So look, XY people, they're different than XX people. Everyone has gotten that for all of time until very recently.
What's wrong with the
No, absolutely. You mentioned this point about us having to debate the differences between boys and girls, and you not thinking you'd be at this point. I feel similarly. I first became interested in politics when I was about 8 years old because I learned what abortion was, and it was so shocking to me that anyone could consider that a morally acceptable thing or that it would be legal. And so I've been interested in these things from a very early age, and I had some hope as a kid that by the time I was an adult, if I ever had any kind of political career or a career in commentary, we would have moved on to other issues and society might have progressed. Of course, my optimism was misplaced. Here we are 20 years later, and we're debating the differences between boys and girls, literally. Well, we've completely regressed.
I don't think we're debating them. I think there is a cult that will lie, cheat, and steal. So they'll come to you and pretend like there's a debate to trick you into debating them because they know that you'll operate in good faith to debate those ideas.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, I mean, look.
I think there's truth in that.
It's the video of Jack Posobiec getting punched by the leftist. And then when the cops pull up, because the cops watch it happen, the leftist, one of them goes, I didn't see anything happen. They're just lying about everything. They know the difference between boys and girls. They're just trying to destroy the system.
It seems like when you disrupt the system, it's the person that's the most powerful that suffers the most. So like if you cut everybody's value by 5%, it's the one with the most value that's going to lose the most, because 5% of the most is more than 5% of less than that. So like COVID shut down the entire world. The United States probably suffered the most because it was doing the best. And now we've got the disruption of the youth, of the psychology of the youth. The United States has the most to lose because it's the leader of the planet. And I don't think it's an accident, man. It's a global internet.
When you cut off the tall grass, the short grass stays where it is.
I'm gonna slightly push back against both things. I hear what you're saying, and I think I agree overall. But when it comes to who can suffer the most, so for example, you're right that someone who's extremely wealthy and loses 5% of their wealth has lost more material wealth, technically speaking. But if a poor person is living paycheck to paycheck and then they lose 5% of their wealth, maybe they can't afford to pay rent anymore. And similarly, we saw during COVID, the UN increased the number of people projected to be at risk for starvation in the third world by like 130 million. So there are certain things that Western countries can tolerate that poorer countries can't. And that's actually part of why you see it here, right? Because we are so wealthy that we've been able to insulate ourselves from natural consequences for decades. If you had a poorer society, the sexual revolution would have fallen apart almost immediately. Because what happens when a man starts impregnating women and then he doesn't care for those children, right? I mean, it's social and economic pandemonium. And very wealthy nations can insulate themselves from that for a little while.
Leftism only exists in wealthy nations.
That's right. That's exactly it. The woke mind virus, as Elon Musk kind of tagged it, is really only in affluent countries. There's no like big woke mind virus spreading all over Africa. They're not transgender outbreaks all over the global South. It's in affluent countries.
It's you know, I talked about this too a while ago when I said feminism can only exist in an empire's sphere. The United States is so secure that we no longer fear for our women. If you go back to tribal era, medieval, whatever, when you're really worried about wild animals and disease, you stub your toe, you die. Yep. The men are very desperately like, if the women die, we are wiped out as a civilization. So the women are protected.
Smart men.
Keep them in homes, keep them in the camps, surround them.
Protect
you get to the point where you have a very strong military, a very expansive country, crime goes way down, and we start exuding military force out of the country. And so we face very little threats from within. Then all of a sudden, there's nothing to worry about with women reaching higher positions in government. I know this one probably triggers the feminists, but this is why you don't see these things, like you mentioned, in other parts of the world where they're less affluent, less safe, less secure.
Very true.
Woohoo! Another ad, right? How fun is that? I bet you're really excited. Well, hey, check this out.
We're moving in a different direction.
If we lived in a violent,
we're gonna move into a different direction over here, and I don't know who that's going to bother or who that's going to bend or who that's going to break on things over here. But we're going to move into a little bit different of a direction, because I think if we just do things brighter and smarter over here, these guys don't hold a cup of water. They're fucking weird, man. These guys are weird, man. Me and Dog Soldier have laid out an epitome of just facts on these weirdos. And that's about all we have to do. So, good job, Dog Soldier. Hats off, my friend. Not a lot of men would do that. And for that myself, you get all my respect. Not a lot of men would have did that. And for anybody on this channel that thinks I'm not going to protect y'all, man, look. It's hard, okay? Especially when you got a guy like that. Look what these went down to doing. Like, it's weak work. It's all that it shows what he's been doing for the last week, gathering up as much information as he possibly can, and didn't get much. But we won't be going over that anymore. You guys have a wonderful evening, man. And that's how we're doing this. On a little bit brighter of a level. On a little bit more of a pretty good level, This goes out to y'all, man.
I don't want to work anymore because I'm working every day very hard and I never had money. Fucking shit.
So that's how they tricking y'all? By saying that I'm saying my solution is money while they're making sure that I don't have money, so my problem is literally money. So they're making sure that my problem is a lack of money while they're convincing people don't donate money because he's only... He's only... You're gonna see how I land on my feet, Mr. Louis Gossett Jr.
Hit the block with a sack and a Glock in the back full of rock with my skill on the seat. Clutching and looking my brother behind me, he up and he busting whoever he see. Niggas be rapping, but they ain't never done it. They know how I'm coming, they know I'm a creep. Shoot till it stop when I
land on my feet, Mr. Louis Gossett Jr. Come on, you can do this, you can do it, 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 you gotta do it, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. This is it. We done? We done? I'm not quitting my job because niggas fucking destroyed my platform. I'm not bad at my job. I'm not bad at my job. I'm not quitting my job.
You know what the fuck going on, nigga? Huh? Niggas 12, I ain't going back and forth up on the internet. Holder told her friend I hit, now she won't let me get in that. Niggas steady ask me who I hit, but I don't get in that. Hit his head and watch it swell up, thought we used to fix a flag. Nigga got strong arm about his heat and he ain't get it back. My gang on alert, we tryna turn them boys to plenty pack. Police took my girths and now I'm swerving, catching plenty hats. Catch me on the 30, probably purging with the biggest strap. I push up for real, for real. I won't hesitate to brush no.
Did you just see how he was like, he thought he was going to come in and get one in, didn't he? Get out, bitch. Get out. You can't come in someone's chat, y'all, and be like, what's up with the content, man? And we've never even seen you before, weirdo. Get the fuck out of here, man. We know who you are, dumbass. Get the fuck out of here. You see what I'm talking about? It's too fucking easy, y'all. Salute, man. Much love, man. Fuck what they talking about.
We don't do attempted murders, could put us into that. Y'all gangsta on social sites, the bitch we really living that. He asked that I hit his bitch, let me not get into that. Told her put some sun in place before I be where he living at. Niggas say he killing me, we're probably the internet. No, all
we'll give it to them if they want. What do you want over here, baby? What do you want over here, baby? Come on over here. Come here to dad. You couldn't take it. You see what I just proved? Couldn't take it, man. Couldn't take it, bro. And I ain't shifty off that, bro. How y'all doing, man? What's up, Penny? Oh, I just made them mad now. I better not hang out. They get mad, huh? That's weird, bro. Let me get a drink. Let me get a drink of my drink. Hold on. I ain't even drinking this thing. Remember, Frost used to come with these little strong arm arguments, how he was a conservative. These guys don't even take care of their kids. That's sad, man. Damn, that's fire. Chemo Salvi got dub quick. That's how we're going to do them, y'all. We're going to get them out of here like ASAP. I mean, we tried to entertain it, right, dog? Didn't we try to entertain it? It's unentertainable, whatever, however the fuck you say it. It's unentertainable. Unentertainable. Something like that, huh? It's very odd, man. The dudes are very odd, man. Frosty probably, I think Frosty got a load of this guy, and it was too much for Frosty. Frosty didn't know how to keep his right mind with it, right? And he probably got under Frosty's skin, man. I feel for Frost on that. I honestly do, y'all. Am I wrong for that? I mean, it's still gun-ho Frosty. But I think he was He was bombarded with a bunch of bullshit. He is. He is, man. How long has it been since Frosty been online? Let's check him out. Let's check him out. You know, he's trending better than Weirdo. He's still trending better than Weirdo, dude. I'll share screen. Yeah, he's up 71 right now. Damn, son. Get it, boy. Get it, Frost. You better hurry up and get back up here. I'm just kidding, dog. I'm just kidding, man. Damn. It's been 3 days. Oh, we're working on a fucking... Is this a record? Is he trying to break records? What was the last thing he said? The Bobby Schmurder shit. The Dick Man shirt. Yeah, we didn't get far into that much at all, but you didn't. It's fucking great. They're so mad because you know what? Their image on YouTube sucks. It's not my fault. It's their fault. Their image on YouTube, it blows. Because, I mean, they do dumb shit. Like look what they name their titles. Meth head, blah, 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 blah. They're just dumb. And this guy says, morning coffee, Bobby Schmurda. And let me tell you something. I bet this dude doesn't talk Bobby Schmurda. We only made it 4 minutes into this fucking video.
Had attacked her, but that's not the way that it went.
Oh, you buzzed up.
Because it's a Wayne doorbell camera that actually.
Yeah, I think we watched some of this. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I want y'all to have a beautiful night, man. I'm not going to keep y'all. I got to work tomorrow, unlike some of these idiots that don't do nothing for themselves. They just sit around and go, oh, I get my check on the 1st and the 3rd. Yeah. You get that fucking Social Security SSI money. That SSI. I can see why they're upset. It's the 11th. They're broke again. It's all good. They're broke. Y'all have a beautiful evening, man. Shout out to Penny. Shout out to James S. Shout out to Dark Soldier. Shout out to everybody pulled up. Black Cuddy. I see you. Poppy. I see y'all, man. Have a beautiful day.
You know what the fuck going on, nigga? Huh? Niggas 12, I ain't going back and forth up on the internet. Holder told her friend I hit, now she won't let me get in that. Niggas steady ask me who I hit, but I don't get in that. Hit his head and watch it swell up, thought we used to fix a flat. Nigga got strong on about his heat and he ain't get it back. My gang on alert, we tryna turn them boys to plenty pack. Police took my girth and now I'm swerving, catching plenty hats. Catch me on the 30, probably purging with the biggest strap. I push up for real. I won't hesitate to bust no brain to leave one steal for real. I'm my body off this jerky, popped him like a pill for real. Hit him with this glitch, he go to sleep, but this no Benadryl. Ask about a nigga shit, he died in that field for real. Yeah. You know what the fuck going on, nigga? Niggas 12, I ain't going back and forth up on the